What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It feels like it's been a while since I've been in the office, and it feels good. I've been missing doing videos like this. I've done a couple vlogs here and there, but yeah, we're back here and we're ready to go. Today, I want to walk you guys through how I color grade, not how to color grade, because there's so many different ways to color grade. It's a very complex subject, and there's just so many variations of how you can color grade and color correct. And right now, I want to walk you through my way of doing it. I shot in C-Log, so we'll be starting from a flat picture profile, color correcting that, and then color grading that. And yeah, I'll show you my process, and hopefully you can learn something from this, or hopefully it might help you out in a way that maybe you haven't thought about color grading or color correcting before. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, now that we have Premiere open, let's go over a few clips right here. We got 3 open. And they're all shot in C-Log, which is a log format by Canon. Most of you probably already know that. Okay, so we'll start off with the first one. I have my Lumetri scopes open, of course, so I can determine whether the shadows are too deep or the highlights are too high. So what I like to begin with is the basic correction tab right here. And I'll start with the blacks. I'll drag it down to where the blacks are right above 0. I don't like to hit 0 because I still like to retain some detail in the shadows. For this one, it's a really bright image, so I can bring the shadows pretty far down. About right there, so that's right above 0. And then with the whites, for this image specifically, don't really need to drag the whites up too much because I'll overexpose the image. So we may have to come back to it, but I'll bring it up ever so slightly. Shadows, this is something I like to play around with. I just eye it, just kind of see what looks good to the eye. Now, if you're a professional colorist, obviously you want to be more precise with it, but for the everyday content creator, you can just kind of eye it out. So I just eye out the shadows, what looks good. I think I'll leave it right there for now. Highlights, bring it up ever so slightly. And then contrast, add a little bit of contrast to it. So that's already looking like a big difference from its flat counterpart. Now, if you want to change the temperature or the tint, you can. So like if the skin tones look a little bit too green or too purple or magenta, then you can change the tint and temperature, obviously, if you want to make it warmer or cooler. But I'm actually kind of liking where it was. All right, let's go to 0. Let's see it. Maybe bring it up by, let's see what it looks like if I bring the warm up by 5. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. And his skin tones, they look all right for now. I think I'll leave them for now. Maybe look a little bit green. Let's just add 3 to magenta. Not that that was the biggest difference, but you can tweak it, see what you like. You can always mask out a part of like for skin tones, you can always mask a part of the skin tone and specifically draw in on that skin tone and decipher, okay, what looks more green, if it looks more magenta. You have the scopes here telling you. But for this, we're just gonna keep it easy and fast, so we'll keep it like that. Saturation, I think I'm gonna keep that where it is for now. So we'll go down to the curves tab. What I like to do in all my images or videos that are shot in a flat picture profile is I like to add a slight S-curve because it makes it more punchy, it makes it look more cinematic and not so flat looking. So it does look a lot better than it did, but let's just add a little S-curve. So we'll just drag highlights up ever so slightly, not too much on this one. And then we'll drag the shadows down ever so slightly. Let's bring them up maybe a little bit. Not too much of a big S-curve on this one, I would say. But even that, if we just take it off, see how it gives it more of that punch. Just looks, the colors look deeper, shadows look deeper, and it gets rid of that like grayish flat look. Makes it look more like it was shot in camera. Okay, I think I like how it is corrected. Obviously, you can fine tune into whatever you desire, but we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, so let's color grade it. So you can do your own color grade, or you can add a LUT. I know Premiere has so many different types of LUTs that you can use. But what I like to do is when I'm adding a LUT, I like to just add an adjustment layer over the clip, and then I'll drag the adjustment layer over that clip. So now that adjustment layer will act as a clip that I can add the LUT to, so I don't have to add the LUT to the actual clip. So if I have multiple clips that I want this LUT to be over, I can just drag the adjustment layer over those clips. That way I don't have to go in each one and add that LUT. Now, if you have similar colored scenes as well, you can do the whole color correction process in the adjustment layer and drag it over each clip. But if each clip is different, then you're obviously going to want to change each clip to how you want to color correct it. So for this, we'll have our adjustment layer, and then we'll choose a LUT that we like. So let's go to, we'll choose this Cinema LUT right here and see what that does to it. So wow, that has really changed that image. Now the thing with LUTs is you don't want to overuse them. You want to add them pretty much as minimally as you can. So we'll just drag it to 0 and we'll go up from there. So I'm thinking maybe 26%. Yeah, we'll stick around that. Now, you can always adjust the scene after you add the LUT. So if the LUT kind of makes you look a little bit too orange, you can go back down to your clip, go to basic correction, and maybe we'll drag the blue down a little bit. And let's see, maybe his skin tones, maybe adjust that ever so slightly. And play around with it and see what you like. So we'll leave that clip as is for now. Has a nice little teal and orange look to it. It may even be a little bit too orange, so here I go. I'm starting to critique and color grading and color correcting is like a never-ending process. It's continue learning, and you know, it's continuing to experiment and trial and fail, because you're gonna fail so many times. Your eyes are gonna trick you to what looks good. You may look at this and be like, that's complete garbage, but that's what this whole experience is about, is learning what looks good and using the scopes to determine if the skin tones are in the right spot, and are the shadows and the highlights in the right spot. Is one thing too dark, one thing too light, and yada, yada, yada. On to the next clip. All right, so basically going through the same thing. We'll go to basic correction and bring our blacks down right above 0. Don't want to crush the blacks too much. So we'll go about right there. Drag our whites up, kind of iron it, see where we like it. Bring our shadows down, eyeballing it. Highlights, drag our highlights up a bit. See what looks good. And we'll bring our contrast up a bit as well. Now the tone of the image, it looks pretty good how it is actually. I actually had it adjusted already. -8 and 9.2. Let's see what it looks like at 0. Okay, so maybe I will bring down the oranges a little bit. Maybe around, not too much, -4 maybe. And then what tone do we like it? Might bring up the magenta ever so slightly. 9.2. Maybe bring it down a little bit more. Let's see. 6.7. All right, so I'll hit the before and after. Boom, looks a lot better. Got rid of that flat look. Now, if you want to add some saturation, I don't know if I would like to add some, maybe a little bit, yeah. We'll go 110, I think. Down here, 110. I like that, looks nice. All right, we'll go down to our curves again, and we will make our slight S curve to give it more of that cinematic, punchy depth look. Really makes the image just look strong. All in all, it just gets rid of that gray flat look. So we'll just adjust it where we like it. We'll hit before and after. Before, after. Yeah, I'm liking that. It looks a lot better. So we'll go full on before and after. So here's our flat image, and there's our color corrected image. I like that. Let's see what our previous LUT looked like on top of this. It may look a little off. Oh, it actually looks pretty cool if that's the tone you're going for. I actually like that. Cool, so that was a quick one. Just color corrected that. Obviously, if you're not liking how it looks on the when the LUT is applied, go back to your basic correction. Cool it down a bit if you need. And sorry about my computer fan, it is going off right now. Yeah, so I like that. That looks pretty good. It's a big step up from what it looked like in its flat picture profile. All right, on to the next one. So this one is a scene from this video now. It's obviously flat, so we'll go into our basic correction tool and we'll bring the blacks. So now that we have a lot more blacks, now we can actually see what it's doing to the blacks. We'll drag our blacks down. This one specifically, keep above 0. Crush it down too deep, obviously, look at it, just you lose all the detail and everything. So just remember that. When you're bringing your blacks down, just go slightly above 0. About right there. Leave it there for now. We'll drag our whites up. This image we can kind of play around with. This would be kind of fun. Our shadows, we'll bring it down a little bit. Highlights, bring our highlights up. Add just a little bit of contrast, kind of make it a little bit more moody. Let's see, maybe add a little bit of exposure. Let's do 0.2. Yeah, just kind of brighten it up a little bit. Now, we can select our white balance tool right here and select the white wall behind us to kind of correct what's going on with the whites. And then even if you don't like what it has done, you can kind of adjust it to what, let's see, what was it like before? We'll go undo and redo. Okay, so I may just drag the blues up a little bit, maybe the greens up a tiny bit. Select it again. Yeah. This one's a bit of a tricky image. This is, yeah, I start playing with you. I think I'll leave it like that for now. Negative 3.1 on both. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. If we need to go back, we'll go back. It's kind of tricky because you can hit the white balance tool on a white wall, but the shades of the white from my light are gonna change. So it's like, it may trick your white balance tool. You can try your best. Let's see, maybe try on our little Apple. Okay, no, we will not do that. So yeah, kind of play around with it. Try to find something that is white in your image and select that, and it's going to try to correct it the best it can. It may not do perfect, so you can obviously come in and adjust it yourself to whatever looks good to you. Now, the saturation, I think with this image, I'm going to bring it down to 90. So we're going to desaturate it a bit. We'll come into our HSL secondary tab, and I think I'm going to zoom in on this image quite a bit. I think let's go over my skin tones. Maybe we can brighten up the skin tones a little bit since we desaturated it. So just drag it around all the skin tones so it selects all the colors of my skin tones with our second eyedrop tool. And then we can maybe bring up the warmth a little bit. Let's try 5. Let's see. Maybe 15. Let's see how that looks out. So 0 and then 15. Yeah, so it kind of brightens back up my skin a little bit. And maybe let's brighten up my sweatshirt a bit. So we'll go select, well actually we'll select our first eyedrop tool, and then we'll select the sweatshirt. And maybe let's drag it up a little bit more towards the reds. So now it kind of pops. So that's kind of a cool little effect. Maybe we'll drag it down a little bit, okay, not too intense. Cool. So that way, in our image, since it's desaturated, my skin's gonna pop a little bit more, and the sweatshirt is gonna pop a little bit more. Just making it so I pop out of the image more, pop out of the background, and just giving it kind of a stylized look. So let's see, did we add our curves? We did not add our curves yet, so we'll add our curves. Go down here. Add a bit of a highlights to it, and putting our shadows down. So as you see, you're kind of creating like your own look. It looks pretty cool. You can always play around with it. Let's see what it looks like before and after. So that's pretty cool. I think with this image, I might even add a little bit of vignetting. Let's see. Just ever so slightly. We feathered it out a little bit. Just to really emphasize me in the middle. Yeah, I like how that's looking. I'm not sure if that cinema light is gonna look good on this. Let's just drag out. Let's just see it for fun. Just for the sake of it. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it looks actually pretty cool. Let's see. We'll take it off. Drag it back on. My computer fan's really going for it right now. Yeah, I mean, it gives a look. So if that's the kind of look you're going for, it obviously makes my skins a little bit more oranger. Gives it that cinema look. So if that's what you're going for, you can. Obviously, you can change different LUTs. Let's play around with it. Let's see if we can find another LUT. Let's try Singularity. Okay, so that didn't change it that much. You get what I'm doing. Basically, you can change the LUTs, change your style of how you're going forward with or what you're going for with the video, and yeah, guys, that's essentially it. I just kind of wanted to walk you through how I go from a flat log shot to a fully graded shot to something that I'm gonna post on YouTube. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I at all an expert at color grading or color correcting. I just kind of do what works for me. I learn as I go. I learn from professionals, and I do have a lot more to learn. But with that being said, this process has worked for me, and it's been working for me now. And as I continue to grow and continue to experiment with it, it's really effective. And that's the whole thing with color grading and color correcting. It's just constantly trying it out, doing it, and learning from your mistakes. I remember when I started out this journey, my skin tones were always super orange. I don't know why, I just made my skin tones really orange. It was really weird. And you begin to realize what looks more natural to the eye. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't actually use LUTs pretty much ever anymore. I just color correct it and then kind of do a little bit of my own color grade to it. And that's about as far as I'll go with it. Now it's up to you. If you like somebody's LUT, you can always add it, and you can always save your own LUTs as well. If you create something on here that you like, you grade it, do your own little style, you can always save it as well to your own make your own little LUT pack essentially. But yeah, what I recommend is before you add LUTs or anything, kind of play around with what style you like, and just keep practicing and get your eyes used to what colors look right to the eye. Because a lot of us, we may oversaturate our images, or we may add too much orange to the skin tones. And I'm just talking from my mistakes that I've made in the past. With all that being said, guys, if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. You guys are the best. You guys are the true supporters, and I love you guys. And I'm really excited to give that Canon M50 away. So hopefully these subscribers go up a little bit faster. All right, guys. Love you guys, and thank you so much for all the support and all the feedback that you guys give me, and I'll see you in the next video. I don't know if I'm gonna do this peace thing anymore. I've seen too many people do it. I don't know how I'm gonna sign off. All right, I'm gonna just do it. Peace!